Americans, mostly younger ones, are announcing they want to leave the United States. They call themselves Trump UGs. Do we have a generation of like Rosie O'Donnells? People so pissed they want to be expats?
Imagine waking up one day and realizing the dream you were raised to believe in no longer exists. The streets, once filled with opportunity, now echo with frustration, debt, and fear. Families are selling everything they own, packing their lives into suitcases, and disappearing, not for adventure, but for survival. From engineers to retirees, millions of Americans are quietly leaving their homeland, chasing a freedom they thought they already had. What could drive people to walk away from the most powerful nation on earth? The truth behind this mass exodus will shock you. Stay with us till the end. And before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to hear might just change how you see the American dream forever. Across the United States, a story is unfolding that very few expected, and even fewer are willing to face. America, once seen as the land of endless opportunity, is now witnessing something extraordinary. Its own citizens are leaving, not for vacations or adventures, but for survival. Families that once dreamed of white picket fences, retirees who believed their pensions would carry them through, and professionals with well-paying jobs are packing up and choosing to start over in other countries. Why would people walk away from what was once called the greatest nation on earth? The answer lies deep within the cracks of the American dream itself. For decades, the promise was simple: work hard, follow the rules, and life will reward you. But for millions of Americans, that promise has been broken. The cost of living has exploded. Basic necessities like housing, healthcare, and food have become luxuries. A middle-class family that once could afford a home and a vacation now struggles just to keep the lights on. Rent prices are outpacing salaries. Grocery bills are hitting record highs. And the idea of saving money feels like a joke. The American dream isn't dying. It's being priced out of reach. In cities like Los Angeles, New York, and San Francisco, professionals earning six-figure salaries are still living paycheck to paycheck. A one-bedroom apartment can cost more than $3,000 a month, and home ownership is slipping further away with every passing year. Millennials and Gen Z, who were told education was the key, now find themselves buried under student loans that could take decades to repay. The system that promised success in exchange for hard work is now demanding everything and giving almost nothing in return. But perhaps the biggest betrayal is healthcare. In America, getting sick can destroy your life. A single hospital visit can cost more than a new car. People are dying not because they can't be cured, but because they can't afford the cure. In other developed nations, healthcare is a right. In America, it's a privilege, one that millions can no longer afford. For families with children or aging parents, this isn't just an inconvenience, it's a reason to leave. Countries like Portugal, Mexico, and Costa Rica are offering high-quality health care for a fraction of the cost, and Americans are taking notice. Then there's safety, or the growing lack of it. Parents are terrified to send their kids to school. Gun violence, once seen as a rare tragedy, is now a daily headline. Public places don't feel safe anymore. The constant anxiety, the endless cycle of news about shootings, protests, and division, it's exhausting. For many, the thought of raising children in that kind of environment feels unbearable. They're not just leaving for cheaper rent, they're leaving for peace of mind.
Even taxes have become part of the reason people are running. The U.S. government taxes citizens no matter where they live in the world. For Americans abroad, this means filing complicated returns, paying double in some cases, and living under financial scrutiny from a country they've left behind. The result? A growing number of citizens are taking the most extreme step imaginable. They're renouncing their American citizenship. The number of renunciations has skyrocketed, and it's not just billionaires trying to dodge taxes. It's teachers, nurses, and small business owners who feel trapped by a system that won't let them live freely. Technology has made this exodus possible. Remote work has unlocked a new kind of freedom. A person earning in US dollars can now live comfortably in places like Thailand, Colombia, or Portugal, enjoying better weather, lower costs, and a higher quality of life. What was once seen as radical is now becoming mainstream. Online communities of digital nomads are filled with Americans sharing tips on how to move abroad, how to get residency, and how to rebuild their lives far from home. But it's not just economics or politics driving this change. For many, it's emotional. It's about belonging. The U.S. feels more divided than ever, politically, culturally, and socially. People are tired of the anger, the polarization, the endless fights that lead nowhere. They want simplicity, community, and humanity, things that no longer seem easy to find in America. And while millions are leaving, millions more are thinking about it. Surveys show record numbers of Americans would move abroad if given the chance. This isn't a fringe movement, it's a quiet revolution. The same spirit that once pushed people to cross oceans and build a new world is now pushing them to leave it. The truth is, the American dream didn't vanish. It moved. It's being rebuilt in small towns across Europe, in tropical communities in Latin America, and in quiet corners of Asia. Americans who once chased freedom at home are now finding it abroad,
Rediscovering peace, purpose, and hope in places they never expected. The question now isn't just why people are leaving. It's what America will look like when they're gone. What happens to a nation when its dreamers stop dreaming and its believers stop believing? That's the part of this story no one wants to talk about. But it's coming, and it's already begun. So when you see Americans selling their homes, packing their bags and starting over in faraway countries, it's not just about escaping high prices or bad politics. It's about chasing something that used to define their country: hope. The truth is, they're not leaving because they hate America. They're leaving because they can't find America in America anymore. And if this quiet exodus continues, it could change the soul of the nation forever. The dream that once drew the world to America is now drawing Americans away from it. So what happens next? Does the dream die, or does it simply find a new home somewhere else? Think about that. And if you want to keep uncovering the stories that reveal what's really happening behind the headlines, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because the next truth might be even harder to believe.